and my fellow batchmate. I am representing my team, which consists of Poulami Deb, ID 90, Rupa Deb, ID 91, Prasenjit Saha, ID 92, Ananya datta, myself 93, and Arpita Nag 94. Today I am going to present a brief description regarding our topic educational technology and its approaches. First of all, we have to know what is educational technology. So, this is nothing but the field of study that investigates the process of analyzing, designing, developing, implementing, and evaluating the instructional environment, learning materials, learners, and learning process in order to improve teaching and learning. Educational technology is the combined use of computer, hardware, software, and educational theory and practice to facilitate learning. When referred to with its abbreviation EDIC, it is often referring to the industry of companies that create educational technology. Now, there are basically three types or approaches of educational technology. So, these approaches are as follows. The first approach or educational approach is the hardware approach. The second one is software approach, and the third and last one is system approach. Now, one by one, I will describe each three. The first approach, which is hardware approach, this is the origin of this hardware approach is from physical science and applied engineering. So the basic of hardware approach is it implies the use of mechanical, material and equipment in the domain of education. Audiovisual aids like charts, models, film strip, slides, audio cassettes, and sophisticated equipment and gadgets like films, projectors, radio tape, tape recorder, and television, video, teaching machines, computers, etc. fall in the category of hardware. The hardware approach is based on the application of principles of physical sciences and engineering to education and training. In this system, the teaching process is being mechanized gradually so that maximum pupils may be educated in minimum time and low of cost. This approach is byproduct of the scientific and technological development of the 20th century. Now, there are some characteristics of hardware approach. So, according to Silverman, hardware approach is a relative technology and its concept is derived from the application of physical science as we know earlier and work on the basis of applied engineering field approach. The second is it is new mechanism of teaching learning with improved technology. In modern era, teachers are dealing with many new gadgets for enhancement of teaching and learning. The teacher can deal with larger group of students with the help of this. Now here there is some flow chart of hardware approach. The hardware approach begins with the education, then education transform into the interaction, then physical science, and the interaction proceeds to traditional and modern gadgets, and the final outcome is the hardware. Now the software approach. The software approach origin from the behavioral sciences and psychology of learning. It is process oriented approach. The software approach of components of software approach technology are closely associated with the modern principles of the programmed learning such as task analysis, writing objectives in behavioral terms, selection of appropriate instructional strategies, reinforcement of correct responses, constant evaluation. There are some tools of software approach such as word processing, database, spreadsheet, graphic paint, program, etc. Now, here is some flowchart of software approach. So software approach begins with education, then interaction, then behavioral science, and the interaction proceeds to programmed learning, and the last one is software. Now the last and final approach is system approach. So the Advanced Learning Dictionary of Current English defines system as a group of things or parts working together in a regulation. A system may be defined as a dynamic, complex, integrated whole consisting of self-regulation pattern of interrelated, interdependent elements organized to achieve the predetermined and specified objectives. System approach as applied to education is a rational problem solving method of analyzing the educational process taken as a whole, incorporating all of its parts and aspects, including the students and teachers, the curriculum content, the instructional material, the instructional strategies, the physical environment, and the evaluation of instructional objectives. Now, there are some components of instructional objectives, which are stating instructional objectives, which help system designing to decide what to teach pupils, teachers, content, determining optimum learning conditions to attain instructional objectives, deciding upon the instructional strategy and media, conducing evaluation. Now, here is a flowchart of system approach, which is given here. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.